Hello and welcome to the 23rd episode of the Gochuucast. And the people on the YouTube side of things may notice a little change, I suppose. We have renovated the cafe and changed some things around because we can. So
We
yeah,
got better funding after the first 22 episodes.
yes, I accidentally stumbled upon a sum of money by chance. I don't think, does YouTube let me say that I gambled? I definitely did not gamble on sports.
It's too late now.
I did not do that. Gambling's bad. Don't gamble unless you're me.
Fly Eagles fly, bro.
it was the Monday night game.
Okay.
Yeah. I was actually if I had Travis Kelce in my Superflex instead of Mahomes, I would have lost like $800 of value by like 0.3 points. It was a close one, but luckily your boy came out on top, and I'm a happy person.
Proud of you.
I'm proud of myself as well. However, we're not here to talk about my beginning of my gambling addiction.
Problem, yeah.
The beginning of my problem. It hasn't been to that. No. I've put some money on it here now, but now that I've won something, that's gonna get that much worse.
True.
However, speaking of worse, there are worse worlds we could be living in. There are also probably better ones, and that's why we watch anime, so we can see those other worlds. And so today's topic,
not live in them.
Yeah, today's topic we will be talking about anime worlds that we would like to live in or would not like to live in. I guess this is kind of like an extension of like our anime characters we could beat in a fight tier list. Anime worlds we would survive in without the tier list portion.
I'll start with the obvious one. I mean, Pokemon. Don't we all want to have like Pokemon in real life, bro?
Dude,
I feel like that was a thing as a kid.
There's so many polarizing pros and cons to Pokemon.
Okay, what's a con? Name one.
There are a lot of evil organizations that run unchecked.
Yeah, Team Rocket, bro.
Very corrupt. There's like I've struggled to figure out how society in Pokemon functions. My assumption is just like everyone goes on their 10-year-old journey, and then when they become an adult, they just come back and get a real job. Like that's just kind of the
you're
vibes.
Just that based at battling, in which case you can like move on with your life.
Yeah, you can make a career out of it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there are a lot of conspiracy theories.
Yeah, it's like how if everyone's dreaming of like I'm gonna become a Pokemon trainer and stuff, how are there like people that run society?
There are people that just suck at Pokemon.
There is no society.
Also, if you're really based at battling, you can basically just free money glitch to the world.
Well, is it everybody? Is it like confirmed everybody goes on a journey, or is it?
No,
like...
it's not.
I mean, not everyone has to. It's like, how the fuck does like Ash fund his existence? Because he never makes money doing anything. Yeah.
What does he have to spend money?
Yeah, his
on?
mom
Food,
doesn't. His mom doesn't work.
His mom sends him underwear or whatever, bro.
She is at her home garden or whatever with Mr. Mime cooking up tomatoes.
True.
I guess I don't know. Is she just a tomato farmer? Something. Surely tomato farming can't be funding Ash's like 20-year journey.
You never know, man. I don't know what they actually do. I just want to own a Pokemon. I think it'd be sick. Okay, that's all. I
think having like a partner Pokemon would be sick. And like the idea of being in the Pokemon universe is cool. Seemingly benefits. Training. They have healthcare, surely, or something similar.
I feel like their technology is much more advanced than ours.
Yeah, they.
Which is weird to say. Big creatures into a tiny ball. It's a bit more advanced than we could ever hope. And they have the trading system, which like literally teleports shit. So I mean, they're out there. They can do things. I love
seeing those pictures of like what a realistic Pokemon would look like.
That
makes me that does make me less interested. Yeah, well, like people will make drawings too of like what it would look like if a Pokemon was in the Pokemon universe.
They're kind of ugly. They're like scarier than they would be. You can't compare to the, like drawings and stuff. But anyway, that was my first thought. I think I don't know.
I think Pokemon's like one that everyone at least wants to think about.
Yeah, I like generally like I'm a person who like doesn't really like animals and pets in general, but like Pokemon with like the superpowers and like it's just all their cool like properties and all the different varieties and stuff. That's like I'm totally into that. So I would do it. Society might be anarchy or just complete chaos where everybody's in poverty. I don't know, like the logistics behind it. I didn't think that far, but I want to freaking like aggro or something.
Do you want to like?
Yeah.
Just think about this, right?
Yes.
Imagine having to pick up after an aggron. Like, that shit has to be humongous. Like, literal shit has to be humongous.
Like, you go out and
No, he cleans up after himself.
He does.
You don't know the lore? Yeah.
Aggron,
dude, Aggron
does
like
Aggron eat
trees.
his own shit?
Is this
No,
lore?
he like plants trees, bro.
So he's gonna take his shit and he's gonna plant a tree in it?
Yes.
Is what you're saying? Or is he
Yes.
you just gonna provide him with seeds?
Yes. No, I mean, dude, you know how like plants like travel? This is like an actual biology thing.
So he's
They're
just
like
gonna shit and like
no
plant it
like,
out.
Animals
and hope...
actually like poop seeds, and like that's how like a lot of like
I know,
plants,
but do you think that your aggron is gonna be? What are you gonna be feeding it? Tree?
Apples.
Apples.
You're just gonna
Actually, he eats iron ore. Okay, you're right. I didn't think through this. Okay, I'm sorry. I just wanted to. Okay, I didn't think about it. This is like the 5-year-old who wants a pet but doesn't want to take care of it. Okay, fine. You're right.
I like having pets. I definitely don't want like a high maintenance one. Like in the future, I don't think I'll ever be able
what do you
to.
Want?
Cats are so easy to take care of.
I think dog is like the most high maintenance pet I can see myself having.
Dogs, but they're it's a lot to deal with because you have to, like, cats, they just like they instinctively shit in the litter box, as opposed to like a dog where you have to teach them to go outside, and depending on where you live, that might be a little annoying because you can't just like let the dog out. Maybe you have to put it on a leash. Cats are just easy, and they kind of like do their own thing, they're asleep. If like they feel like cuddling, they'll come up, stay with you for a little bit, walk away. There's not a lot of
I have a pet tortoise. He gets his 3 leaves of lettuce a day and some water.
It's like a small tortoise.
Chill. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say like 3
not
leaves
one
of
the,
lettuce.
yeah. He's not like one of the like ones you see at the zoo that's like the size of you. He's like one of the little tiny ones.
Yeah, there's actually someone in high school got a smaller tortoise, thinking that like they were told like, yeah, this is gonna be a little baby tortoise for like the rest of its life or whatever. It turned out to be a very, very big tortoise.
Don't they live for like 5,000 years or something too?
Not quite. They live for like over 100 at least, though.
Okay.
And so
he could outlive me.
Actual boomer.
But like, yeah, so he in high school just accidentally got this big fucking tortoise and thinking they get a smaller one.
Kind of fire.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I'm sure he was thrilled. The parents were like, ah, shit. It's big turtle, probably much harder to deal with little turtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I handle that.
Anyway, I suppose
pet turtles. And I think any segue, but furry, that's what I'm thinking of. But I think any universe that has
the VR
the gimmick is just we have VR MMO, except for Sword Art Online, I'm in. So
why not Sword Art Online?
Okay,
so here's the thing.
Are we jumping into Sword Art Online, or are we gonna like wait until all the other games like Gun Gale come out?
Yeah, so let's have a conversation about Sword Art, because here's exactly how, if Sword Art Online came out and we lived in that universe, this would go down.
Okay.
I know it. So the universe itself seems like it's probably somewhat technologically advanced compared to us if they can make VR.
I would say and they have like season 3. I will say they are considerably ahead of us.
Yeah. So here's the problem. At least 2 of us in this call, probably Daniel and I, most likely all 3 of us, are just taking off work the day that Sword Art Online comes out, and we're logging into the game.
All right, so here's the
thing. Yeah.
I feel like we could live.
Yeah. So this is kind of where it gets interesting, because it's like, what type of Sword Art Online player are we in the game? Because everyone wants to be like, yeah, I'm gonna be the Kirito.
I'd love to be the Kirito. However, the moment Homeboy announces that we die on death, I'm becoming the fisherman.
So I was thinking about this, actually. This is, scammed a little bit of a prep that I thought of for this, but
yeah,
I feel like I would eventually settle into being someone like Agil, where it's like a dude who might battle every here and there.
But just runs a shop.
If I'm cracked, I might have to go with the assault team every so often for big stuff. But for the most part, I would just like find a job like running a shop or something like that, and be like, yeah, that's my life now.
I mean, you could get killed doing that. You never know.
Because I feel no,
he
you
lives
could.
in the safe zones.
Yeah.
But you can definitely get killed on like when you go to a job or whatever. But
I feel like there might be a period when it first gets announced where I'm like shitting myself and like, what am I supposed to do? I don't want to go out and die.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I'm the type of person that eventually is going to be like, I need to do something.
Yeah, right. No, see, survival instincts activated. Absolutely not. I will stay in the first town. It will be everyone else's problem. Because
level 1.
I feel like realistically,
I think it's good to know you're that type of person.
All right, it's not that I don't care for everyone else. However, realistically, in that situation, I'd probably be thinking like, "There's no way they're gonna be able to keep us in here for an extended period of time. I'm just not gonna fuck with this game." And after like,
you're the one who's thinking like, eventually someone's gonna bust us out.
There's just no reason to play the game. And that's what he wanted. The guy wanted anyway. He wanted everyone to play this game. So if everyone just doesn't play the fucking game, we're chilling.
Boycott, mass boycott. Let's go.
It's like the Hunger Games thing.
Protest. Okay. So essentially, you don't want to live there because you think the only way out would be for a mass boycott. Okay, great.
If I
compared to all the shonen universes and everything, it's like Sword Art, you were forcibly trapped there instead of like, oh, I've been reincarnated into the Dragon Ball universe. Like I was just a normal person. I had no choice. All I wanted to do was play video game on my day off. And now I am trapped in Sword Art Online, the death game.
Yeah, okay. Bofuri would definitely be the preferable VR to exist in.
The Bofuri game just seems so fun, even though like we see the broken side of it.
Yeah, obviously, it's like realistically a pretty like awfully made game, but it would be very, very fun to be.
Yeah, it seems, and they have events fairly often, which is based. In the game devs
they
are
make
kind of incompetent.
New content.
Yeah, we do get new content. I haven't seen season 2 because it's not out yet, and I haven't read any of the source material, but surely they'll have new types of events in that.
Actually,
they won't rerun.
Just got, I think it's the 7th novel today. That's showing on the shelf now.
Is that continuing off of
Mail Day, baby?
I think I don't remember how many the first season covered. I almost want to say 5, but maybe that's too much. For season 1 light novel cover. I don't know. Fucking if I type it in like okay. Where is Bofuri anime end and light novel? Someone puts the fucking web novel. Okay, volume 4. So I'm 3 volumes in. Yeah.
You probably have almost all, if not all, of season 2 on your shelf.
I'd say there's probably like a volume of season 2 not there at most.
Most likely. Yeah, I think any like video game, because let's be honest, like we like playing video games. I think I would love to have VR MMO in my lifetime. I won't, but I would like to.
Apparently, like the people who made Genshin want to make like a Sword Art Online like type of world by like 2030 or something. Now, how much I trust the Chinese Communist Party to tinker with my nerves. Yeah, the Genshin company is in China, which basically means that they are the they are the CCP.
Basically, how pog is the game? I might risk it all if the game's really nice.
If the game is really cool, perhaps I'll fork over some of my brain data to the CCP. But if it's if it's like just shitty little VR or whatever, then I'm gonna be not doing that. Yeah, I feel like I don't know the state VR is in right now is like really awkward because there's not many games for it to begin with, but then all these like shitty companies are trying to like shill the metaverse or whatever, when I could like log on to Club Penguin and have like an infinitely better experience like 10 years ago than anything that they create these days. But
I almost feel like the issue right now is the whole metaverse and VR and everything. Like nobody as like a whole is sure what they want to do with it societally, so we're just kind of like
it's too expensive as well.
We're like tinkering around with random things right now that like we could do with it, but no one's just like, all right, I'm gonna.
You want to break VR? You want to break it? You wanna
Yeah.
take it to the next level.
Yeah.
No one's gonna, because like, it's like, what? I'm not spending $1,000 to play Beat Saber and only Beat Saber.
Yeah.
So it's like,
listen, don't diss Beat Saber. That's
I don't
crazy.
think it's a bad game.
Beat
I'm not saying
Saber's
it's a
kinda
bad. It's a
No, I
fine
know,
game.
it's
It's just
expensive.
not $1,000 hardware. That's why I don't have a Switch. I don't need an oversized DS to play shitty Pokemon games on.
True. Just need perfectly legal programs. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
No,
My alternative
think,
is no works.
Yeah. No, I think VR. I mean, I don't know. I think in the next like 5 or 10 years, it like has to like, because I remember VR. I think like it was like first introduced to it. Like I don't know. It feels like a decade ago. Like it feels like it's been around forever. It's just like
it's hard to tell too
like,
because like we're at a time where technology is advancing so fast that like you never really know when just a breakthrough is going to come out.
Yeah,
like,
I'm just surprised there hasn't been more like development or anything. Anyway, like
realistically, we won't have a Sword Art Online or anything like that before 2030, right? At least that's what seems like
2029.
But like, you never know when they just randomly like crack the code of VR, and then in 2026 they're like, here we go.
Yeah. As long as Zuckerberg is leading the helm, we're not getting anywhere. So it's gonna take a new industry leader. Yeah.
Think meta like that, bro.
Because it's like Facebook and what Valve has the other VR, I think, or is that or did Facebook buy that one?
I think Facebook bought.
Facebook has one.
I know Facebook has. They have like. Did they get the Oculus? I'm pretty sure they bought Oculus.
I'm pretty sure they bought Oculus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure.
That can be our extended goal for this podcast. Once we've completed all our other goals,
create VR.
Our next goal is to create Sword Art Online, but good.
Okay.
And no death.
There's like our MetaQuest 2. I'm assuming that's from Meta. And there's Sony. There's PlayStation VR. That's probably specifically for that though. But then there's
Samsung VR.
There's the Valve. That's probably what the Sony is.
Oh, no,
it's like same thing. And there's Valve Index VR. So I guess Valve and Meta are where we are right now. And so Facebook obviously isn't going to be taking us anywhere. And then Valve, I think they're perfectly content with sitting there until CS:GO doesn't make money anymore from cases. And so
never.
They're just
never.
We're never going to move anywhere. I think they're fine with not releasing games anymore and just making money off of that.
I think someone.
I think VR is dead.
I think someone would have to revive the VR movement, and also with the intention of like reaching higher levels of it.
Yeah. So back to Worlds. Back to
We need a VR anime. That's what
we could just go to classic shonen worlds because there's so many that we can. Not necessarily rapid fire, but kind of like get through quickly that like everyone's thinking of.
I want no part of the Dragon Ball universe unless I'm Goku.
I think that's a fair take. It's similar to like the My Hero take, where it's like, unless I am actually cracked, I do not want to be there.
You bitches just be blowing shit up every other like day. There's no reason to be in these shonen worlds. They suck.
There's like gods of destruction in them, and like OP protagonists. And what if I just want to be a villager, or what if I'm just born as a villager?
You don't want like brain power to play every time you like power up, bro. You don't want brain power to like.
I just see these shonen gods like fighting above my city, and I'm just at home like, someone's gonna have to fix this again.
You could die in the crossfire. What do you mean? You're not safe.
I'm not safe. Exactly. I'm just a villager.
You might as well do something.
But I don't know. I don't know. What am I gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily born with powers.
Like, why do you want to be a villager, bro? Don't be a bystander. Be like
you don't choose. It's all a gacha game.
You know what?
It is all a gacha game.
It's all a gacha game. I don't, especially My Hero. My Hero is like the most gacha of all.
You can either have super strength, or your head could be like a fucking mushroom. It's just be
at the moment I am born in My Hero. My potential as a person is already predetermined.
You may just get nothing too. I'd take nothing over being like some motherfuckers just be like literally a pencil or something.
Like a weird shaped head. Yeah.
Like imagine just being like Doodle Bob or some shit. You're the magic pencil. I don't know. Shonen worlds I wouldn't want to live in. Orient fucking would suck. It's just nothing but red rocks everywhere, and then there are big demons that try and kill you, and everyone's a total asshole, and so there's no reason to want to live there.
There's also like the other half of shonen worlds I can think of, which is like the Bleaches and the Yu Yu Hakushos, which are like
One Piece,
the
bro.
real world, but there's a hidden. We'll talk about One Piece. Don't worry. There's like the real world, but then there's also the hidden like Bleach world, and it's
Bleach
like
hidden world.
yeah. So in Bleach, it's like normal Japan, but there's also just a section of people which are the Bleach people. I don't remember what they're called. The Bleach people
Hokage?
The Bleach,
who
the Clorox.
are like aware of the existence of this other like spiritual world, and so it's like, oh, their job. It's like how in Demon Slayer,
It's like
demons exist,
Oh,
but like
okay.
not everyone knows that demons exist because like the demon slayers, their job is to kill the demons, right?
like Jujutsu Kaisen. It's
Yeah,
like
Jujutsu
all
Kaisen,
the
it's the same thing.
yeah.
All of those that it's like you could live in that world and not even know the gimmick. That would just be us right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to like accidentally learn the Demon Slayer gimmick. That'd be most unfortunate.
I think one of the worst shonen worlds to live in would be Fire Force, though.
Yeah,
That's the one where they're like firefighters.
Yeah.
Right?
So you get basically zero benefits if you live in Fire Force. It's just the world, but there is a % chance that you may randomly combust in flames.
Okay, yeah.
I think that can technically happen in real life too, but it's like, infinitely lower than a Fire Force world.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, well, I guess if you're like really, the word's not lucky, but if you're special, you can also get like powers to control fire and stuff like that. But it's just like, if we're assuming that we're not guaranteed to be like one of the OP people, it's like Fire Force is a world where if you're born as a normal person, you're just a normal person, except you might just randomly explode in flames.
Yeah.
With no warning. At least in like
at
least in other shonen universe where they're like fighting in the city and like they're gonna destroy my home and it's gonna collapse on me, I at least like can hear them outside and be like, what the fuck are these kids doing on my lawn?
Yeah, I don't want that. That sounds awful. That sounds actually terrible.
All right, One Piece.
One Piece. Did you want to be like Luffy?
So the cool thing about
Luffy. I know
the
Luffy.
cool thing about One Piece is it's like just living on a bunch of islands, right? If you're just a normal person,
in a boat, bro.
I'd hate to live. That's like the one place I don't want to live in life. Is like near the coast. So
yeah,
I'm like
it's
perfectly
like all
content
coast practically
where I'm living right now because it's like get the occasional tornado maybe, but otherwise there's like literally no natural disasters that occur. I guess like flooding, I guess, but that's a problem everywhere.
I love the water, so like living in One Piece wouldn't necessarily be a problem. But it's like One Piece is just a series of like millions of islands that I can't think. There are surely like bigger land masses in One Piece, but I can't think of any time except maybe Alabasta where there's been like a real just like single continent.
What you're saying is if we take a trip to Hawaii, it's basically just like being in One Piece.
Yeah, just expand that and it's just One Piece. And so there's a little island and then you can go from island to island on boat.
So Hawaii. So literally Hawaii, bro.
yeah, exactly.
You're literally like 50 islands or whatever in Hawaii. Okay, dude.
The Philippines, all that stuff over in
the Philippines. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
One fat archipelago.
Yes.
But it's in terms of like powers in One Piece and stuff like that, and like survivability if you're an average person, it's actually probably not one of the worst in shonen because there's the biggest threat is pirates, right? And there's such a wide
Somalia
power scaling for pirates because there are some pirates that are like just like pirates in real life, and that would be the majority. And then there's also the Luffy's and the Kaidos that have like god powers.
Apparently,
destroy
in like Somalia, the British like Blair Britney Spears or something. So I just do that. All the pirates stay away from me.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know how it works. Yeah, there's just pirates are afraid of Britney Spears songs.
I think if you're someone who likes, like smaller towns and like living not necessarily countryside, but like that type of vibe, One Piece would actually be kind of a tight world to live in. But I can't think of any times where there's like obviously the technology in One Piece is weird. I would call it way less advanced than our technology, but they also have weird things like snail phones. I don't know if you've ever seen those, but the phones in One Piece are snails.
Okay, so it's just like
yeah.
Time and SpongeBob, bro. The freaking magic.
The conch shell
Same
phones.
thing, bro.
All right, One Piece copied SpongeBob, even though I think One Piece came
No,
out first.
okay, wait. Did you guys ever do the thing? Okay, I don't know. I lived in Florida, so like, I guess it's like a beach thing where you like talk
Yes.
like using the shells like to your
Yes.
friends. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah. That's what I just remember. So it's like probably the same thing. Okay. So what we've established is that One Piece is a mix of like Somalia, the Philippines, and Hawaii. That's it. If you mix
Yes,
like all those three
exactly.
countries,
You mix those three together, you
have
are
the
in One Piece. Yeah.
You have the One Piece. Okay. Yes. We have located it.
Do I get a massive cock like everyone in the memes?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. You have to like map all three of the points and then like find the exact like center of the triangle or whatever, and like that's where it's located.
And once you go
Then you get a
there,
massive
your
cock.
cock will triple in size.
The One
crazy.
Piece is actually just like a surgeon who's like studied cock extension his entire life. Anyway,
I guess the last one is Naruto that I can think of. There's probably more, but the last
Naruto.
one I have on my mind is Naruto.
yeah,
And
I don't know much about Naruto, but there are ninja terrorist organizations, so I think I'm going to stay out of that one.
it also feels like a political
Crazy.
disaster. Like, I don't know. It feels like all of the hidden villages are just in cold wars with each other. So it's like,
Yeah, it's just kind of like on site there, so I'm not a ninja or anything, so
You think that's how it's like with a lot of villages in real life? You think it's like a mirroring of what happens in real life?
yeah. And then they also have ninjutsu and
Yes,
jutsu.
yes. That's okay.
Morph
Okay,
into
I
logs.
forgot about that part, but yeah, sure. Okay,
I don't
yeah.
I don't remember. This is kind of off topic, but Naruto is like ninjutsu, something that most everyone can learn as long as you have the capability. Like, it's not like locked by anything. Like some of the other things that we talked about would be locked by just like, oh, if you were born correctly, or if that type of stuff. But to my understanding, I think ninjutsu almost anyone could do unless you're like Rock Lee and you just have no compatibility.
I see. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't fuck with Naruto. Also wouldn't fuck the world of Tuaru is a very not fun universe to be a civilian in. Yes, that's like Railgun Index Accelerator.
Oh,
So
wait, don't they go to like school? They go to like school, right?
So
And they,
basically, the world that they are set in,
like
basically,
Miracle City or
it's
some
like
shit.
it's
I don't remember.
it's a city that is like designed for like these powers or whatever to like cultivate them, and so yeah, like the schools there are like generally there for these powers. It's literally called Academy City, but basically there are two sets of powers. You can either have like your general, they just call them like espers, basically. So you can have like your scientific powers. So like the main character in Railgun, she uses like electrical charges or whatever, and she can do a bunch of shit with that. But then there are also like different levels to it. So you can be level 0, which means you have no powers. Then like level 1 through 5 is like the strength of your powers. Like level 1, you can't do you basically can't do shit.
Mhm.
And then like level 2 onward, obviously you get a little bit stronger. They're like only, I think it's 7 level 5s. And so, basically if you're level 5, you're big chillin'. And like Accelerator, he can like change vectors or whatever. So like he's basically invincible for the most part.
Classic. Always got to have one.
Except for he's not invincible because there's other shit in the world. So the index side of things, there's actually magic in this world as well. And so there's not like any, it's like a very like soft magic system to where it has like no real set rules basically. The author, I guess, kind of like writes whatever the fuck they need in the moment. But and the main character of Index has a power in his right hand where he can cancel out literally anything, be it like magic or esper powers. But he doesn't have any powers besides that, basically. He kind of does. It's like, it's a little ticky-tacky. So it's like, this world's really fucked because the people with magic are always fighting in the background. And then the people with the scientific abilities, there's like, obviously evil groups that want to experiment with them, like trying to make level 6s or whatever. And so there's a lot of fuck shit that happens in the world. Basically,
Gotcha.
I guess as long as you're not living in the city, you're actually probably fine. But
yeah, that's what I was gonna
assuming...
ask. So like the entire thing takes place in Academy City. So do we even really know much about like that outside of city world?
I mean, on the outside, so like the church and stuff is like all over the fucking place. I don't know how powers work like outside of the city. Like if people are born with them out there, I would assume they probably are. I don't know for sure.
They're also probably just like, oh, go to the city.
Yeah, but like Academy City is like where all the fuck shit goes down.
I feel like for the sake of the argument, then we would have to be in the city at least.
Yeah, if you're in the city,
like otherwise,
you're
it's, like
cheat,
not.
bro.
Yeah, otherwise you're like not in the universe, right?
yeah, if you're in the city, you either want nothing to do with anything or you want to be level 5. So you're like untouchable, basically.
Yeah.
Though, I guess between I don't know, because like level 5, you're like really strong, you get cool powers, but like you also get dragged into shit. But yeah, no.
You have to like I mean, like, isn't level 1 like easier to manage? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Is it really like how pathetic is level 1?
It's pretty like you may as well not have powers.
That's crazy. Okay, never mind.
I'm pretty sure Kekai Sensen has like a similar thing in the sense that like Kekai Sensen mostly takes place in New York City.
Oh,
but it's
great.
like it's like not New York City if I remember right, because it like got fucked up by a bunch of shit.
It's not New York City because people there like are not stressed out of their minds. Is that it?
Yeah. Okay. So it's called Hell Salem's Lot, and it. Maybe I should.
Wait, why is it New York City? Like, why is it similar? Is it like
it was New York City? It was literally New York City, and then a portal to like other world opened up, and it became like this like paranormal like magic city that also has like fucked up mafia shit going on, and like essentially you just take city and like fuck it up with monsters and magic and all this type of shit, and then also the mafia, and then that's like New York City.
Okay, so it's just New York. There's nothing has changed.
Yeah, exactly. We're just
maybe the magic. Maybe the magic. I don't know about the.
So the question is basically, would you want to live in New York? Which the answer is
no.
Yeah.
I visited New York 2 or 3 years ago. I forget. Really cool city. Lots of stuff to do. I wish I'd stay there for.
I wouldn't move or wouldn't live there.
I would never, dude. People there, like, I know, like, there's a lot of stuff going on. People there, they like walk like twice as fast as like the average person. Yep. Like half of them are on their Bluetooth phones. Like, I know they're busy people, but man, it just feels stressful.
I also wouldn't want to like sell a kidney every month to pay rent, but
yeah, dude, pay like $5 more billion for a hut. In like
Kekai Sensen's kind of a similar vibe where it's like you were just living in a specific city that has like a lot of fucked shit going on.
Yeah.
I feel like Kekai Sensen would be worse though, because there's kind of the stipulation with Toaru that if you're in Academy City, you're at least some form of Esper.
Right.
Which doesn't necessarily mean you're protected, but you do get like a floor of not just being a boring ass human.
You have a self-defense tool, I guess, right?
I mean, it's a strong. So, like, one of the characters in Railgun is like level 1, I'm pretty sure, and she cannot do fucking anything. Literally,
okay, I don't know then.
Like has to use a baseball bat to help out with the gang because she can't use her. She has like wind powers, but like basically can't use them, so it doesn't matter. And you can like grow your level or whatever, but it's just you're. It's a little hard. It's a little goofy. If you're not up to like level 5 by like your teen years, you're probably done.
You're just capped.
You're done.
Yeah.
Unless you get like artificially pushed up, which has its own problems. But
yeah.
I
think one anime I was thinking of was I mentioned this anime a lot just because like I like certain aspects of it a lot. Nagi no Asukara, the sea anime. With like middle school romance.
There's like mermaids in it or something. That's about all I
know.
No,
it's not like I mean, I don't know. I guess there's people who live underwater. It's just like underwater life and like humans.
Yeah.
And they have a city underwater. So like I think it'd be cool just because well, I think the best part about the anime, or like one of the best parts I really liked, was like the art and just like the way the city looks, just looks so good. And I don't know, it'd just be cool to be underwater, like living like with fish and maybe not
It
sharks,
sounds pretty
but
dope. What's it like when
it's
shit
cool.
hits the fan there? Does it ever get like bad? Like,
Uh,
what's the downside of
there's
living
like
here?
supernatural things that get bad, but I mean, as far as like natural phenomena that would
Can the
not
underwater
affect the
city
land people,
flood?
I don't know. What was that?
So
A
are they
flood?
like in a are they in a bubble, or are they like in the
Or are they
water?
just actually
No,
in the
no,
water?
literally in the water. It's like a
Yeah.
city underneath the sea, like
Do we have
Atlantis or
gills?
whatever. No, they have this like um it's like the skin, this like second skin on them that like
Okay.
allows them to breathe underwater. That's like literally it.
Okay.
So like
Yeah, it's like this like
basically gills.
Yeah, that's
okay.
pretty
Well, I
much
mean,
gills.
yeah,
It's like a
not,
full body gills.
sure. It is a external thing, or like that lets them.
They're like SpongeBob or something.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. SpongeBob's an actual. I mean, these people might just actually be sea creatures. I don't know. But anyway, it'd be
SpongeBob, my
cool.
favorite native isekai.
Yeah. Okay. No, but I just think the idea of living underwater, it's like just the aesthetics
Yeah.
of it is just like cool, and like the architecture, like they're all like the buildings they kind of look like, I don't know, they just look different, and it just looks cool. That's all. It just looks cool. I haven't thought about the logistics of it. I don't want to. I'm gonna get eaten by a shark probably, but you know what? It looks cool.
But it'll look cool when you get eaten by a shark.
We didn't mention this earlier in the shoutouts, but I feel like we have to mention the Attack on Titan world for like at least 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, I did forget about the Attack on Titan world. I'm not living there.
Nope, I'm good.
That might be number one on this list of worlds I would not want to live in.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Yeah, because like 99% of the time, like you're not that guy in this world, so it's like there's no reason to even like think about living there. Same with like the 86
even
world.
if you are that guy, yeah, it's same with 86. Even if like you are that guy, you're still not like having fun or anything.
Yeah,
it's still pain and suffering.
Speaking of pain and suffering, Made in Abyss world, assuming that we're actually like at the abyss part, would not be very fun. Because like
you wouldn't like exploring the journey. You wouldn't like the journey to go down there.
So like there's the Made in Abyss world
if
is
you
interesting,
spawn
right?
Versus if you start at the top, right? Yeah.
If I start at the top, I'd be looking down like, even the first layer has big flying monsters that will eat me with no hesitation. And it's like there are very like powerful people in Made in Abyss, but it's very like few. There's like 3 or 4 or some shit. And if you're not that guy, you're done. It's like you build up your resistance to the abyss for so long, and eventually you go back to like the point of no return or whatever. And then what? Yeah. You just got to keep going down. You better hope there's some cool shit at the bottom, or it's just going to be really awkward. I don't know. A lot of the pain and suffering, I wouldn't fuck with that. There's a lot of things down there that normal human cannot deal with.
Yeah, I think that's like part of the stipulation is we're not assuming that we're gonna like be guaranteed to be that guy. And even in a lot of these last few ones, it's like even if I am that guy, I don't know if I want to be there. Made in Abyss kind of qualifies in that, where it's like
Made in Abyss is a little awkward. If you are that guy, you definitely do things. But like if you're like middle of the pack, you're kind of fucked.
No, no interest in exploring, and also like I guess spoilers, like the stuff that happens like the second to last layer, if I recall correctly. Anyway, like the physical things that happen to people, no interest in that. I don't want that.
I guess I should.
You guys can do that. Go ahead.
For people who don't know, in Made in Abyss, if you go down, if you go back up, there are problems that occur depending on which layer that you're trying to ascend in. It's not, you don't have to like go up. You have to like, I don't know, you can take like a 5 steps up, like a flight of stairs or whatever. You're done. Like, or you're gonna have problems anyway. First layer, obviously, it's like the first 3 layers aren't that horrible, but then like a layer 4, it like really starts to get to you. Then layer 5 also, but then literally once you go below layer 5, you cannot go back. It's like not possible. So it's just It's a little
Yeah, no
goofy.
interest in that. I'm just not an exploration guy.
I am
I'm
an
good.
exploration
Yes.
guy, but I there's so many exploration type anime that I have to pick and choose, and Maiden Abyss might not be the one.
I'd do exploration if it were safe. If we're 100% safe, no risk to me, no problem.
I would maybe be down for like a Danmachi.
After season 4,
After what's been happening lately, I'm not as sure anymore. I think the worst exploration anime I could think of would be Grimgar, which you don't see as much.
Aren't they like soldiers in the military or something? Or am I thinking?
No, it's an isekai.
It is an isekai. Okay.
It's an isekai, also maybe a video game. I don't know if we know what it is yet, but isekai is the easiest way to think of it. Sure. They're not soldiers per se, but they're like enlisted in as like adventurers, right? Yeah. So it's the problem with Grimgar. And you see some of it in season 1, but you get even more brutal as you read the light novels, is everything in the dungeon is so much more fucking powerful than the party that we're following. The main group of people, that it's just like you have to be that guy to even get through the dungeon within months of attempting.
Yeah.
And so it's just and if you're not prepared, you will probably just die.
Yeah, I mean, I think most isekai worlds are probably fucked. I'm just looking at my list. I'm glad I like looked at adventure specifically. I would have probably forgotten about this, but Girl/Tour's world is actually just depressing. There's like nothing. it's just so like gray, and it's all mechanical. So like the world's like there's 100 floors of these buildings, or 100 layers, and like the whole world is like these buildings basically. And there's just nothing. There's like no human life anywhere. I guess like the whole story is like them trying to climb to the top of these layers to see if there's like literally anything left after this war or whatever. I don't know. I haven't read pretty sure the manga's done. I haven't read it. Maybe I will one day. But yeah, it's done. Okay, but it's like a really fucked up world. Despite the like the cutesy character designs or whatever.
I was looking.
Yeah, the cutesy ones they're enticing.
Another pretty fucked up world, Seraph of the End. Literally just post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, most post-apocalyptic are pretty fucked.
Seraph of the End is literally like the whole world is destroyed in an apocalypse, and then some people who are alive are just enslaved by vampires underneath the fucking world. Like underground.
Fun.
And that's like the setting of it, more or less.
Overlord would be an awful world to be in, depending on who you are, I guess. If you're part of like Iron's crew,
NPC, most likely.
You're chilling. Yeah. Otherwise, it's not. I don't think it's a game. I think it's like based on the game or whatever. But it's not actually like a game world.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that's how like a lot like Log Horizon has that gimmick too, where it's like they are in the world of the game, but they are not in the game.
Yeah,
they're in a world that is also the game.
Yes,
that's too much.
I didn't care much for the anime itself, but a decent world at least to live in would probably be No Game No Life. Like you can't get murdered or anything because like everything's just played through games or whatever. So there's definitely
maybe that's a secret. Just pick anime that like goes like into. I mean, I guess there's usually a connection to real life, or it's an isekai. So whatever. But yeah,
it's
probably a safe bet.
It's funny going through my list and I just see all these sports anime and I'm like,
yeah, let's go to the sports world.
Just go to the world of Awashi. Fuck.
Yeah,
bro, let me go to my high school like volleyball team. Okay, dude, that does not count.
I'm gonna go to the world of Sound Euphonium. Hell yes.
My high school band. Okay.
The Fate world would be pretty awful to be in.
The Fate world's terrible. So the Fate Stay Night world, which might be the best Fate world to be in.
Yeah. I guess if you're just like not in Japan, you're kind of like chilling, honestly, for the most part. At least in Stay Night. I don't know anything about the other fates, but
No, that is true. So Stay Night is just kind of a normal ass world, right?
yeah.
Fate Grand Order, everyone is dead. Spoiler
Fun.
for Fate Grand Order, everyone in the world is dead, and the whole plot of the Grand Orders is essentially to like change the course of time so everyone is revived. But then I don't know too much of Act 2, but in Act 2 everyone's revived, but then there's like another group of people now who's like fucking with all the people who are alive as well, and just like destroying cities and like murdering people.
I see.
For
so
the sake of like altering history type things.
The basic fate of like Stay Night and stuff, kind of chilling. Other fate,
yes,
rather fun.
Stay Night kind of relaxed. Grand Order, you're probably dead. Extra, you're probably dead. The extra world is essentially like the world has gone to the point where humans are nearly extinct, and then this entity called the Moon Cell basically takes all of the humans that have the capability of being a master and like harvests them in the sense of like raising them up so it can make like one big giant holy grail war.
I see.
Like post-apocalyptic style.
Yes.
Worlds are just
and
I'm good, bro. I'm trying to live my 8 billion my 8 billion bros in my current world, dude.
Yeah, exactly. There are basically no benefits to living in any of, even Stay Night. There's not really many benefits to living in the Stay Night world.
Yeah.
A cool world to live in might be the Magi world. There's like a lot of fuck shit with the Magi world.
Yeah, fantasy world moment. There's always going to be some,
it's
some
a
fuck
fantasy
shit.
world moment. There's like slavery going on, and like it's a political nightmare. There's Sinbad City. Sindria? Was that the name? Sinbad City, which is like probably the nicest place to live there. But it's just kind of like nice like desert fantasy world that you can live in. There's not too many fucked things that could happen.
No magic carpet?
There are magic carpets.
There are? Okay, based. Yeah. It's lit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But that one might
genies?
not be
No
the
genies?
worst. Technically no. There is
Okay,
a genie
fair
in Magi, but I'm gonna veto that existing for the average person.
Okay.
It's safe to say that the average
And
person
to be
will not
fair,
be
that's kind of a
genie.
cop out because, like, well, hey, my first wish is that I want to get out of this world. Okay, dude.
Yeah.
We also haven't talked about it yet, but can we just say no to ReZero and move on?
I was going to mention it at some point, but yeah, ReZero, it's like, if you're not that guy, you're so fucked.
If you're not a Reinhardt,
yeah, if you're not, if you are Reinhardt, you're being chillin'.
You're bum, bro. We might die within 5 seconds. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to. I'm not gonna bother with that.
I would definitely need like the proper powers to.
I don't think even the proper powers are good enough.
Yeah.
There's so many powerful people in that show that are like dying. So
it's kind of the theme of like all of the like Mushoku Tensei is kind of similar in that regard to where it's like all these like fantasy / isekai worlds are like it depends. Did I win the birth gacha or did I lose it?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you definitely wouldn't want to fuck with a lot of those kind of worlds or whatever, where there are like uber strong people that just kind of like walk around doing their own thing. But a world that would be great to live in is the Gochumon world, which is like a little bit different than real life, I would say.
What's different about it?
Would you? Okay, Chino's grandfather literally like transferred his consciousness into a rabbit.
That's true.
Just, there's at least something different about this world. I feel like crime doesn't exist there either.
A couple superpowers.
Yeah, like it's just a peace-loving. Nothing has ever gone wrong here.
Like there's just nothing wrong in the world. It's just chill. And I guess you can transfer consciousness to rabbits or something, but
yeah, sometimes you can become a rabbit when you die.
As far as anime worlds go, it might be one of the more normal ones, comparable to something we have currently. I don't know. maybe
Like
that's the goal.
we don't have to have an excuse of like, oh, you didn't develop superpowers, so now it's a normal world. Like it's just pretty much a normal world.
It's a normal world, but it's a fun one at least.
Actually, one that while I'm scrolling through, I noticed that actually might be pretty fun and not as high risk as a lot of the other shonen worlds. Fairy Tail.
Yeah, I mean,
there's still some issues with Fairy Tail, but as far as like all of
issues with Fairy Tail.
As far as all of the shonen worlds that we're comparing against, Fairy Tail might be the one with the highest chance of being a fun world.
Alright, so do I have a big group of friends? If the answer is yes,
ability to go join a guild, probably.
I need to join the nicest guild ever, and then their friendship power is just gonna put me beyond everyone else, and I'm gonna be absolutely fine.
I mean, you could be like a Jet or a Droy, surely, right? To someone who exists at the guild.
I'm just trying to be the fucking bartender, dude. I'm not trying to do the fighting or anything. I just want the protection of other people.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Fairy Tail could be a kind of fun one. Potentially. At least if we're comparing it versus the other shonens.
I mean, yeah, like I'll take Fairy Tail over like Dragon Ball because the planet gets exploded like 20 times in that, but like, you know.
I don't want to say it because the answer is obvious, but I also think there might be some interesting discussion with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Stone.
I thought about saying this. Obviously, Dr. Stone means we're going 3,000 years, and assuming we get revived.
Yeah.
I
assume we get revived.
Still wouldn't want to fuck with it, because here's the thing, right? He was able to whip up some medicine for like pneumonia or whatever. That's all cool and dandy. You get like a legitimate serious illness, you're just done. You don't even like a chance at treatment. It's just over. So
Senku has to be the one who revives me, and I think he has to revive me at least like halfway through the series.
He can revive me at the end of the series.
Something to do when he revives me. I can't just be sitting there twiddling my thumbs like, well, I guess now we have to go make the wheel.
Yeah, I would not want to fuck with Dr. Stone World. Just leave me in Stone until everything's like generally fixed.
It's also interesting because for us specifically, we're so like connected to technology that it's like, would I go crazy in the Dr. Stone World?
I don't think I go
not having
crazy
to like anything.
Because like you don't have the time to go crazy because you have to like work for survival. No.
Yeah, that's true.
The world of Dororo, fucking like hiccuped mid fucking Dororo, which is already a little goofy to say, but it's like kind of like our world, except they're like demons and ghouls that run around, and so it's a pretty fucked world to live in. It's like ancient Japan, where like if you don't get rain for this month, you're just done. You're done. You're fucked. It's over. Your whole clan is about to perish to famine. So obviously not the world we live in.
This is an interesting one I've popped up on. Soul Eater. You two haven't watched Soul Eater.
I've watched the character introductions of Soul Eater.
Character?
Yeah, there's like 3 character intro episodes or whatever that I watched, like my cousin showed me a million years ago, like when I first started getting a bit more into anime.
Oh yeah, okay. This I've heard.
But I'm like, I was like, I already have like a million episodes of Fairy Tail to go through. I do not feel like starting Soul Eater right now, and so I didn't.
The Soul Eater world is practically like living in a cartoon.
I mean, it is a cartoon.
Like it's. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. But it's like that's the closest one I can think of it when you think of like cartoon physics and stuff like that, and like that type of world. Like that's kind of what it would be like to live in Soul Eater. There's like this really close, intimate relationship between like living people and death being a actual like death person instead of just like, oh, you died. It's like, no, death has to come like pick you up and then be like, well, time to go to the afterlife.
Yeah, another like RNG E type of world or whatever I've mentioned it before, but Plunder has a cool world. I wouldn't want to live in it, because the RNG factor would definitely like fuck me over. But it's if you don't remember, it's like everyone has a counter or whatever, and depending on whatever you roll, I don't know, just fucking something random. Your count goes up or down. If it hits 0, you go into the abyss. Otherwise, your like status in society is based on how high you can get this count to go. And so
What enemy is this?
Plunderer.
Plunder.
Yes.
Which I actually knew nothing about. Daniel has explained the plot once or twice on the podcast, and
I've only ever talked about it when I said I hate it.
Yeah, it makes me more interested, but then he also attaches to it as like it is bad, and then I'm like, oh, I guess I don't like it.
It's like one of the cooler anime worlds out there with like the worst fucking characters on the planet. I hate all of them. And the one character I did like, they ruined later, and so it was just fucked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like depending on what your count is, like you can get like an easy count, like hey, every step you take, guess what, your count goes up, and you could like rule the world within like a few days or whatever. But then you could have something like it was really fucked. There was one where there's this girl, she's like, her count, you start at 1, I think, right? And so her count was every time her dream comes true. And so if the opposite of your what's it called happens, then your count goes down, right? Obviously you gotta hit 0 somehow. Yeah, I see. And so she tried to build a plane because it was like her dad's dream or whatever to fly. Your fucking plane broke. just dragged into the abyss. Yeah, no, it's and there are more cool things about the world too, but like I don't go too deep into the details, but it's a cool world. I wouldn't want to live in it, but it's cool.
I don't know if this counts as a world, but Odd Taxi is funny to mention.
Aren't you all like animals in Odd Taxi or whatever?
It's complicated.
Yeah,
it's complicated.
There's not a simple answer to that. We don't have to get into Odd Taxi. Okay. I saw Odd Taxi and I was like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Shield Heroes a shit show. Pass.
Date Alive would be a horrible world to live in.
Bro, I love the idea of being in a world where it's like I'm basically just in normal Japan, except every so often just
things explode.
A nuclear bomb goes off.
Yeah, it's like the space quakes definitely I would want no part of. So like if I was in Date Alive, am I getting the bitches? Am I the main character? That is the important thing. If I'm just some random guy in Date Alive and I have no powers, Date Alive would be the worst world ever. Well, not the worst world ever, but it would be not fun to live in. It'd be pretty bad. But if you are the main character, you are chilling for sure.
Yeah, bro, you got a harem, bro.
Yeah, the plot line literally demands that you build harem.
Yeah, exactly. You have to. It's your life depends on it.
Exactly.
I don't know. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I guess a lot of these just depend on like what character you spawn as or whatever.
It's like the reality is like,
Piki is out here being like, yeah, dude, I want to be a villager, and like every show I pick, and it's like, dude, you might end up being the villain, bro. You never know.
No. But I think it's like for the sake of this, it's better to assume you're just an average person than like taking into account like, oh, I would want to go be in, the Sword Art world because I'm gonna be OP and part of the assault team.
Yeah. I don't think I've literally ever mentioned this ever, but Gleipnir is like a really goofy world. Also has the problem of, I don't know, well, 1, it's horny, and 2, it's the characters aren't that interesting or whatever. It's like just the definition of mid, basically. But in the Gleipnir world, aliens like crashed their ship, and for some reason they had all these coins that went everywhere when they crashed. And they're too lazy to go get them themselves. And so there's like a game between humans or whatever. If you collect like X amount of coins or something, I forget what the number is. But if you collect X amount of coins, you get a wish granted. And so
it's like Dragon Ball.
It's kind of like Dragon Ball, except it's not as
you get the 7 dragon.
It is
coins.
much harder to gather. Like it's either like 100 or 1,000 coins or something like that. Than say,
don't they
7
just
Dragon
have
Balls.
like? Yeah, don't they also just have like a tracker in Dragon Ball for
Yeah,
Dragon
they
Balls,
literally have a
it's like,
dragon radar. You don't get that shit in Gleipnir. You just gotta find these whack ass coins while other people are trying to find them as well. And I forget how the power system works. I think if you get a coin and you get one coin, it's like your starter coin. You bring it to the what's it called? You bring it to like the alien guy, and he'll like give you a power or whatever. And so that's kind of like how you get into this game. But and it's pretty like you don't want to get involved in the game though. It's like probably not worth it.
I think you just need to get spawned into like a gambling anime. I think that's the
Yeah.
What's
solution
the,
for you.
Gambling? What's the gambling anime
Kakaguri?
again?
Yeah. Oh
Kaiji?
yeah. That's like
No.
example.
So there's Kakaguri, but there's also like an older one. I think it's Kaiji.
I've got no clue.
Yeah, Kaiji.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's that one.
It's like an old anime, kind of old, I think.
2011, somewhat.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
It looks
got a
older
decade.
than that because the art style is. I don't know how old the manga is. That might be why the art style just looks oldish. Probably because the guy is a fucking.
This dude has way too much chin.
Yeah. This is Kaiji. This is the high stakes gambling anime of Daniel's
With a pointy chin.
No, see, I'm not a high stakes gambler. I don't condone gambling. Once
Yet.
again, don't gamble. However, sports gambling it's educated gambling, right? I'm not going out there and trying to like bet on these like Sunday games. Or there's too much variability in trying to do fantasy with all those teams, and so I do like the Thursday and the Monday night games where I have much more control over what happens.
Do you? Or is it an illusion?
I definitely do. It's not like I'm just spinning a slot machine. I watch the game. I have a brain.
Oh, okay, sure. Okay, sure, yeah.
We didn't do a league this year, but I was back to back Pips fantasy champion, and so
you're crazy.
I know what I'm doing.
Nice flex.
Yeah, big flex.
Bit of an expert.
No money the first time, but big $80 last year or whatever.
Huge.
Big $80 for.
It's topical right now because it just came out today. But what even is the Chainsaw Man world?
Think of like Jujutsu Kaisen, but it's actually kind of like I can't tell for sure. I don't think like the devils or whatever in Chainsaw Man are like a hidden thing. I think they're just naturally part of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of like Jujutsu Kaisen where like curses are like hidden from people or whatever. So yeah, there's like devils and devil hunters. Like devils can, it's like the main character's like basically fucking Itadori or whatever, but instead of being cursed by an ancient demon, he's possessed by a cute chainsaw dog thing. And that's Chainsaw Man basically.
Yeah, I still have to watch the first episode. I was watching the if there's a world I don't want to get spawned in, or I don't think I would have survived high school, it's the forgot the exact name, but it was like more than a married couple, more like lovers or whatever.
Less than a married couple, more than a married couple, less than lovers.
Word, yes.
That
one you get like put into like an apartment with like a random person in your class. Bro,
wait, is that the plot line of it?
Yeah, so their school has like a marriage course in it, basically, where you get there's like always a camera watching you. It's like super like weird, goofy anime only type of
it's like Big
plot
Brother,
line.
but for high school.
It is literally Big Brother, except you have to act as like a proper like spouse.
All right, I'm watching episode 1 tonight.
Yeah, I still haven't watched episode 1. I'll probably like get to it tomorrow or something, but yeah, I've read the manga for it a little bit, but then my alternative site that I used to use got shot, and so I never like continued reading whenever I switched. But
I guess the also one to quickly because I just saw it. Isn't Gundam like its own world?
I don't know jack shit about Gundam.
Like I'm pretty sure Gundam is like one single universe. It's just like, yep, you're drafted to like go be working on a Gundam.
I made some Gundam fans very not happy a few days ago, actually, where like, they were like talking about they're talking about mecha or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not like too big into mecha. Like I liked 86, but it's like not that mecha. And they're like, what do you mean? And they're like, it just because it focuses on characters and not like robots or whatever. That's like literally what all mechas do. And so they started like, oh, you just like actually watch Mecha. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'm like not into like the Power Ranger like humanoid robots or whatever. Power Ranger is their trigger word, dude. Every Mecha fans get so mad at the word Power Ranger. It's not even that.
But isn't the Power Ranger like film and everything from a Gundam anime? Or not anime, but like Gundam live action type of thing.
All right. It's
like I know Gundam is like its universe and it's not the genre in the same way that like we think it is, but still.
Yeah, like they were so I like mentioned Power Rangers, like I don't like humanoid robots or whatever. And so they get mad and they're like, you did not just compare Gundam to Power Rangers. And they posted a gif of like some little kid getting absolutely fucking smoked in this, like in Gundam or something. And like, does Power Rangers show that? I'm like, well, no, I'm not trying to compare apples to oranges here. I'm just saying I don't like big robots. And then it's like, this is like calling Evangelion Barbie. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. I can't take people. I didn't actually say anything like mean. I just like stopped talking. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. Like, I just.
This is like me being pissed at you because you said something about One Piece, and I was like, One Piece is not Pirates of the Caribbean.
I put like Peepo Shrug or whatever, and just moved on with my life because
One Piece is Pirates of Hawaii, bro.
Like I just said I don't like the humanoid robot aspect of things. That's why I was fine with 86 because it was like spider tank things instead of fucking Megazords. I don't think there's anything wrong with liking Mecha, and maybe I bet if I watched Mecha, I'd maybe like it.
Yeah,
it's not. I know they'll probably focus on characters and stuff. I don't like the robots. That's all I said. I don't like Pacific Rim either. The Pacific Rim Power Rangers, same thing basically, right? I don't fucking know. And I don't know. I'm gonna piss off I can't wait. We're gonna do a Mecha episode one day. I'm just gonna fucking piss off every Mecha. I'm just gonna like dedicate it.
Episode one day. We'll talk about Darling in the Franxx for an hour.
I'm gonna bring up Power Rangers immediately because I.
Hello, welcome to the Power Rangers
episode, dude. Power Rangers was the shit, dude.
Actually, they're all clicking off and disliking.
Transformers, bro.
I actually tried to like rewatch a Power Rangers movie one time.
It's unwatchable.
I couldn't, dude. They make so many shitty puns. I couldn't deal with it. Literally, it was. I can't remember which one it was. It was like one of the earlier movies or whatever, though, and.
There's like the one where they skydive, and that will always them skydiving for whatever reason. That scene will just always have real estate in my head.
That might be the one. I can't remember, but I know that they like got into a fight or whatever, and like the Pink Ranger like tripped a dude. It's like have a nice trip, and then she kicked another dude and it's like see you next fall. I'm like, oh my god, I can't. They fucking hit me with like the two-handed combo or whatever, the wombo combo, shitty pun. And I'm like, all right. I think I'm done watching Power Rangers. I was like 5 minutes in, so yeah, I don't know. Definitely, I could maybe the dinosaur one was pretty lit. I could maybe rewatch that. I don't think I'd ever want to, but I could maybe do that. I don't know. Anyway, I think we've reached the point of no return, so I'm gonna be ending the episode here.
Too many worlds.
Too many worlds. I'm sure any Gundam fan is like furiously punching the air right now.
I mean, Gundam can be as cool as they like it, but surely they have to admit that they wouldn't want to be in a Gundam. That seems like one of the worst worlds to live in.
Yeah, I'm just not trying to fight at all. But yeah, that just concludes Gochuucast episode 23. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. If you're on audio only, rate us 5 stars because we totally deserve it. We will potentially be getting some microphone upgrades courtesy of my newly formed problem. So that'll be cool. But yeah, if you are on YouTube and you want to find the audio only, you can go into the description. It will bring the anchor out. And you can go to it'll like link all the things we're on, like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. If you're on Spotify and would like to see our newly renovated cafe picture thing that we have, then you can go to youtube.com and look up Is the Order an Anime Podcast. Very unique name. No chance you can miss it. And yeah, thank you for watching, and we will see you next Saturday at 3 p.m. EST as always.